You know, it's just sad to believe that somebody can fool that many thousands and thousands of people. Just think. Okay, let's say you had 175,000 people on Sunday morning. You said, how can it sustain? Well, if each one of them just gave $1 in the offering, that's $175,000 a day, a Sunday, a service. Now you know there's people in there that gives that many thousands and more. Amen. I wouldn't doubt it if they didn't. Yeah, I wouldn't doubt it if they didn't bring in over millions of dollars in one service. Oh, sure, they can do great programs. You know, I was convicted because I kept listening to a T.D. Jakes thing. And he talked about that he was at a conference one time and was listening to a speaker, and another pastor came up to him and said, "Look," he said, "You know, I want you to pray for me that my church grows." And the conference guy said, "Well, why do you want your church to grow?" And you know, he goes, "Well, all the other churches around me are growing, and you know, I'd like for my church." He said, "I'm not going to pray for that." He said, "You want your church to grow for your ego." He said, "You're wanting your church to grow for you, not for." Amen. And you know, I got to thinking about that. You know, I got to thinking, well, you know, I count everybody. Why do I count everybody? And it's not to say, well, look what I've done. And you have to have a measure of progress. I mean, you know, you just got, as a pastor, you know, you think, well, man, we're slipping. What's going on? You know, but or if you're growing, you don't say, look what I've done. Amen. You think, okay, we're growing. What else can we do? Amen. Listen, when we start to grow, we got more resources. We got more people to reach out. Amen. You got people that has different ideas. We've been interviewing for a superintendent, and I've sat through 3 interviews of different people. Amen. And every one of them had great ideas. And I thought, man, if we could just get those ideas together. Amen. And but you know, and that's what I'm saying. If we could bring in when we grow, we have those resources. Amen. We got people that the Lord is anointed in other areas. Amen. That will help reach out to this community. Amen. It's all about seeing souls saved. Amen. Amen. It's not about raking in the most money. It's not about raking in the most people. It's about reaching the most souls. Amen. Amen. And quite honestly, I think a shallow church is a church that does not reach out. Does not reach out. I do. I think it's a church that is a shallow church if it keeps everything inside its 4 walls. Amen. You say, well, we're not doing too good of a job. Well, the Lord's moving. Amen. In His time. Amen. He's giving ideas to people. Amen. And he's bringing people in. Amen. And I just see and I feel it. Amen. That we are extending our roots deeper. Amen. We're getting more established. Amen. Listen, this church went through a horrible, horrible disruption. Amen. I mean, I wasn't here for it, but I heard about it. Amen. And it takes time to heal. Amen. It does. It takes time. Listen, if you take that tree and you just plant it in the ground, it has some roots already on there, but you know, if it's not fed, if it's not watered, it's not where it needs to be yet. And what happens? It just dries up and dies. Amen. But if you water it, you feed it, you fertilize it, you give it the nutrients it needs, you give it the love it needs. Amen. Don't go too close to it and bruise it. Don't back over it with your car. Don't run over it with the lawnmower. Amen. And guess what happens? It starts to be established. It starts to grow. Amen. And then it walks. And before you know it, guess what? It starts to blossom. Amen. It'll bloom. It'll prosper. If it's a fruit-bearing tree, eventually it starts bearing fruits. Amen. And we're the same way. And I just see this as a process that we're going through. Amen. We were, and I just tell you, as your pastor, I was kind of shallow when I first walked into this place. Amen.
Amen.
You know, you felt the Lord leading you, but you know you're still tippy-toeing around and trying to feel your way around. You know, Lord, you preach what the Lord gives you, then those messages start getting a little deeper. Yeah, and you just feel yourself getting closer. Amen. And your all things happen. Huh? Even a good tree can lose a limb every once in a while. But you know what? But what happens? There's always something there to take its place. Amen. There's always something there. Amen. You can take a tree and a branch and break off just part of that branch, and lo and behold, before too long, you'll see new growth. Matter of fact, I preached this one time about pruning. Pruning is a process that you should do. Amen. And it takes away the dead stuff. Amen. Praise the Lord. And new starts, and it comes back bigger and stronger and more beautiful. Amen. It may look kind of ugly when you first do it. Amen. It may look ugly once you get it pruned. Amen. But praise the Lord, once it starts to grow and to prosper, it's a beautiful thing. And you know, I see a beautiful thing going to happen here. Amen. I do. I see a beautiful thing. Amen. That's going to start happening here. It already has. Don't get me wrong. But I still have a vision. I still have the Spirit, feel the Spirit pulling in directions. And now I see some of that coming together. Amen. We still got areas we need to work on.
Of course.
Amen. But we'll get there. Praise the Lord. Amen. Let's stand. Praise the Lord. Anybody have